with them goes something more powerful than all their weapons and equipment. The words of Woodrow Wilson. We have no selfish ends to serve. We desire no conquest, no dominion. We fight for the ultimate peace of the world and for the liberation of her peoples, the German peoples included. For millions on both sides, the words of Wilson lift the war high above the stalemated slaughter of the battlefields, above the savage strangling on the sea and under it, and give it moral significance. A war to end war. Expeditionary Force, the AEF in France. For the war-worn British, it is the last great reserve army of civilization. In its coming, the French see the magical operation of a blood transfusion, the arrival of new life in floods to reanimate the mangled body of France, bled white by the innumerable wounds of war. The Yanks have come. The Yanks are over there. John J. Black Jack Pershing, commander of the American troops, applauds the words of his subordinates. Lafayette, nous voici. Lafayette, we are here. Reorganization and deployment. Time to see something of France, which of course means Paris. Back home, Tuesdays and hunting spies and hounding Mademoiselle from Armentières who hasn't. Oh, the general of the Croix de Guerre, but the son of a gun was never there. Dinky dinky. The war, it is waiting. The fields of France and Flanders, no man's land. After 3.5 years of futile attack and victory seems no nearer for either side. 700,000 casualties, French and German, at Verdun, and nothing gained. 60,000 British changed, and Luftkampf at Passendavis. Do you remember the stretcher cases lurching back with dying eyes and lolling heads? Those ashen gray masks of the lads who once were keen and kind and gay. But in spite of everything, they sing, what's the use of worrying? It never was worthwhile. So pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. Generation, British, German, the finest, the best, the bravest on both sides, is fed in sheen. 500 miles of Germans, 500 miles of French, and English, Scotch, and Irishmen, all fighting for a trench. And when the trench is taken and many thousands slain, the losers, with more slaughter, retake the trench again. 1917 ends, the trenches run unchanged from Switzerland to the English Channel, and the greatest battle of all is yet to come. Field marshals will decide when, generals will decide where. C'est la guerre. But for the men, rendezvous with death at some disputed barricade in shade and apple blossoms fill my pledged word and true. I shall not fail that rendezvous. The German High Command. With the coming of 1918 comes a momentous decision. The Central Powers, Germany, Austria, Turkey, Bulgaria, have a new Supreme Commander, Field Marshal Hindenburg, hero of the strategic victories which have defeated Imperial Russia and paved the way for the Communist Revolution. But Germany's war at sea has failed, and the Western Front is deadlocked. So Hindenburg and the General Staff decide on what they admit is a gambler's throw in the West, where the war will be won or lost. With Russia eliminated, the High Command moves 1 million battle-hardened troops and 3,000 guns from east to west. The race for France begins. Can Germany apply overexhausted British and the depleted French before American military might comes into full play? Says Hindenburg, that and that only is the decisive question. Time will no longer wait for either side. Behind the Kaiser's unbroken military front, unrest is simmering. Great Britain's naval blockade has sapped the German economy. Germany's allies are faltering. American strength is growing. For Hindenburg and his brilliant Chief of Staff, Ludendorff, there remains only their gambler's throw. Break the enemy line, split the British from the French, and bring the Allies to their knees. Hindenburg's trump in the great gamble, the German soldier. In 4 years of fighting, he has seen the struggle grow from a Balkan murder war which ranged against him, including his pre-war ally, Italy. Outnumbered everywhere, from the New World to the Orient, his front has been broken nowhere, and the casualties he inflicts are always bloodier than the casualties he suffers. For months now, his communiques have read, Im Westen nichts Neues. All quiet on the Western Front. For the first time since the invasion of Belgium, German numerical superiority in the West. 750,000 secretly marshaled along a 50-mile front. March the 21st, 1918. The great offensive of the Great War. In assault after assault, the Germans close in on Paris and threaten English Channel. Allied order of the day to all ranks in France and Flanders. Every position must be held to the last man. There must be no retirement. With our backs to the wall and believing in the justice of our cause, each one of us must fight on to the end. The safety of our homes and the freedom of mankind depend upon the conduct of each of us at this critical moment. And the Allied government